let's talk about social media again. It's been a while since last time. My previous videos about this have all focused mainly on Instagram because that's been the platform of choice for most of us visual artists and still is for many. But now there is also TikTok, the new app that everyone's raving about and wants to make it big on. I've hinted about my opinions about TikTok in a few other videos, but I've never really addressed it head on, and that's because I can't even begin to describe my feelings about this app. Honestly, it terrifies me. I am confused and dumbfounded by it. I am legitimately worried about what it will do to us as a society, especially to young people. I don't want this video to get too dark and scary, so I won't go there now. I won't get into all of the reasons why I feel this way about TikTok. Instead, I'm just going to put a few things in the description for you to check out so that you can see what I'm basing my feelings and arguments on. Other people have done the researching and the interviewing and the reporting on this much better than I ever could. So what I'm gonna try to do in this video, apart from painting this watercolor crow, is to give you my list of reasons why creatives absolutely do not need to use TikTok in order to be successful, and some reasons why you should even consider avoiding it altogether. This is one of those videos where I'm just going to talk and paint, so feel free to just listen to this video if you want. First off, a necessary disclaimer. If you're currently using TikTok and you're having a blast, feeling great, getting amazing results, and feel like you're doing your best work, by all means, continue. This video is not for you, okay? This video is for you who's feeling pressured into using TikTok to grow your audience faster or boost your art sales or whatever. Maybe experiencing a bit of FOMO, but also feel conflicted and reluctant about using it. And it's for you who's currently on TikTok and wondering if it's worth it or if you're wasting your time. Maybe you're suspecting that it might be hurting you in some way, emotionally or creatively. With that said, here are the main problems I have with TikTok in regards to visual artists and creatives in particular. Starting with the format. TikTok is an app that's focused around really short videos, like a minute, 30 seconds. Even though the length limit has recently been increased to 10 minutes, it likely won't change anything because users on TikTok, and sadly on the internet in general nowadays, have gotten used to really short videos and therefore have a really poor attention span. Social media companies have been pushing down the length of videos for years now to get us to consume more content faster. And so that's what we're stuck with now. We don't have the time and patience to sit through longer videos. And the content that performs the best on TikTok is under a minute long. So let me ask you, how much impact are you expecting to make in under a minute? How much knowledge or inspiration do you hope to pass on? How much of your personality do you think will manage to shine through in those seconds? And how intrigued are people going to get about your art before the next video is shoved in their face and they forget all about you? Is spending hours on creating these super short videos really a fair use of your time as a creative, as a human being? Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm getting old and just don't get it anymore, but when I watch these super short videos, whether it's on TikTok or on IG Reels or on YouTube Shorts, I get a stress reaction. People are talking so fast without breathing, and the cuts are so quick that my brain can barely process it. I have to pause the video to actually take in what's being said or shown, and then it's immediately on to the next thing. It's exhausting. Mindless entertainment is one thing. I'm not judging anyone. I waste time in embarrassing ways too sometimes. Maybe I'm just too old to appreciate this new particular type of content. But I am talking about this from a business perspective. Most of us are actually trying to make a living off of our art. And these super short videos are just not a quality way to show your art, or let people get to know you, or build a loyal audience. It's a way to have your stuff seen by millions of casual followers. But those followers don't really care about you, and most of them will not buy your art or come to your shows or even subscribe to your newsletter if you had one. This is fast food content. Content that's just made to be quickly consumed and then forgotten. Like I said in my rant about Instagram Reels, in my video about why I quit Instagram, it's a fart in the wind on the internet. Very few people will bookmark your TikTok video for later use, or remember it a year from now, or reach out to you or buy your art because of it. You've spent a lot of time on something that has the lifespan of a few hours, will not make a very big impact in anyone's life, and will likely not lead to much actual business for you. Because after all, eyeballs on your videos does not pay for groceries or art supplies. What pays for groceries and art supplies are real, actual human beings that have come to care about you enough to give you money. Those kinds of relationships take time and are best created through long-form, more personal content and consistently showing up in people's lives via, for example, a newsletter. So by only showing up in these short little snippets, you're denying your audience the chance to get to know you for real. And you're denying yourself and your art the dignity of taking up time and space in the world. You are worth more than that. You and your art are worth more than 30 seconds of highlight reel from one of your paintings. You can do more with that material. You can reach fewer people in a better way that will probably feel more meaningful to you and your audience, and will likely lead to more sales as well. Then there's the issue of our mental health and what spending time on TikTok is actually doing to our mind. TikTok is heavily controlled by its algorithm, so much so that it barely qualifies as a social media. I believe they've said it themselves that TikTok is an entertainment platform, not a social media. That's one way of putting it. Another would be to call it a distraction engine, which is what it's engineered to be. It cares very little about quality social interaction and who you've chosen to follow on the platform. Instead, it grabs you by the eyeballs by showing you the most irresistible content it can find, based on your watch history and all of the spying and data collection it's done on you. Its main goal is to keep you hooked for as long as possible, with no regards to your mental health. Can't stop watching weight loss and fitness stuff? Well, here's some more, and more extreme versions of that until you really hate your body and it's all you think about. Oh, you love cute animals? Here's 10 billion of them. Go ahead and waste your time. Wanna get inspired by other artists? Okay, here's the most viral art content the app has to offer. A never-ending stream of the most talented and most original, most performative artists from around the world. Feel inspired yet? Wanna go pick up that paintbrush? You see where I'm going with this. And it's the same on YouTube, unfortunately. Algorithms and recommendation engines have a very dark side to them. Rabbit holes can become black holes, leading us deeper and deeper into an obsession or a fear, showing us more and more extreme versions of what we're interested in, or just showing us so much stuff that it overwhelms and exhausts us. An algorithm-controlled environment whose goal is to distract you for as long as possible, ruled by a profit-seeking corporation that does not care about you, is not a good place to spend a lot of time in or to create content for. TikTok is not just harmless fun, even though it might feel that way right now. TikTok is a very shady platform for mental health reasons, for ethical reasons, and for personal integrity reasons. And the more you invest your time and energy into it, the more you rely on it for your business, the more vulnerable you'll be. Take a step back and really think about how using the app makes you feel. A lot of it might not be obvious. It might be more subtle or subconscious. Awareness is the first step. Continue using the app if you really want to, but stay aware of how you're feeling, how your creativity is affected, or your empathy, or your worldview, or self-esteem, or stress levels, and how do you feel afterwards? Was it time well spent, or could you have used that time for something else? Now let's zoom out a bit and look at the overall business strategy of being on TikTok and similar platforms as a creative. You might have been led to believe that you should be on TikTok as an artist, and that not doing so would mean leaving money on the table, essentially, saying no to thousands of potential views and followers. Maybe you know a friend of a friend who's made it big on the platform and has 1 million followers, and so it really seems like you have nothing to lose by giving it a shot. Maybe some of those followers might buy an art print from you, or a course, or merch, or become a patron, or donate to you on Buy Me a Coffee, or whatever. What harm is there in getting some extra eyeballs on your stuff on TikTok? Well, we need to look further than this. If you are trying to build a stable, profitable, creative business, you need to take more factors into account, like risk versus reward and return on investment, and that of your mental health and long-term ability to stay inspired and productive. Being on any social media platform, creating content and building an audience takes a lot of time and effort. If you want to grow as fast as possible while also avoiding burnout, you need to prioritize. You can't do everything. You can't be everywhere at once. You need to focus and spend your time and energy wisely. What kind of business are you trying to build? What are you selling, and who is your ideal customer or client? Where do they hang out? What are their buying habits? How can you reach them and build a relationship with them as effectively as possible? TikTok is not a platform tailored for building a loyal fan base or building relationships or making sales. The way to success on TikTok is quantity over quality. You're essentially entering the virality lottery by starting a TikTok account. You are going to have to make a lot of TikToks to have a chance of any of them going viral and bringing in lots of followers or views. And you're going to have to build a massive following in order to see any real, actual business results. Because the vast majority of those followers are not on TikTok to buy art or build relationships. They're there to be entertained. And even if you do get that thing that you're ultimately after on TikTok, a viral video, lots of followers, it will probably not matter as much as you think. Virality does not automatically equal success. Just because someone liked your video does not mean they will come to see your show or buy a commission from you or hire you. A lot of artists with big social media followings sell very little via those platforms. Having a large following is mostly a vanity metric, as it's called. How many followers someone has tells us surprisingly little about how much money they make, or how happy they are for that matter. In many cases, a creator with a smaller audience can have a lot more profitable business, while probably also getting a lot fewer hate comments and demands on their time and attention. So can we please stop obsessing over quick growth and followers and viral content? Is it fun to suddenly get lots of eyeballs on your stuff? Of course. I recently had that happen to me. One of my videos got over 90,000 views. It was a lot of fun. Did it completely change my business and my income and my self-esteem? No, not much. Even though I gained a lot of new subscribers, it actually didn't affect my income at all. Competing in a virality lottery like TikTok and even YouTube to some extent, comes at a price. There are downsides to placing yourself in the same gigantic fish pond as the rest of the world, the equivalent of performing your art by the side of a busy highway. You'll have to be even more extraordinary and eyeball-grabbing to stand out in an environment like that. You might feel tempted to resort to clickbait or sensationalism. It might affect your creative process in a negative way, and even your personality. Besides, not all art can be performative. Not all art can be done in front of a camera or a live audience or churned out on schedule 3 times a week. A lot of us need solitude and a little boredom in order to think deep thoughts and have original ideas and be able to create at all. And in this day and age, those things are increasingly hard to find. We need to guard them carefully and wrestle them out of the hands of these tech giants. Let's have some perspective here. TikTok is trending right now, the same way Vine or Snapchat or Instagram trended for a while. They too have had their golden ages and have helped many creatives break through and build a following for a while. It will not stay that way indefinitely. TikTok will go down the same route as these other platforms, with lots of unpredictable algorithm changes, more and more ads, and a growing pool of creators complaining endlessly about dwindling reach and results. So however much you like the app right now, For God's sake, don't build your business foundation on it. Don't build a business on borrowed and earthquake-prone land. I will keep repeating this in my videos until the end of time. Artists do not need social media. None of us do. It's an optional thing with upsides as well as downsides. What artists need to do is work on our craft, build a body of work, and show that work to people. And there are much better ways to show our work than TikTok, like having a website and an email list and doing PR and doing real-life events and exhibitions, reaching out to brands and other creators to do collaborations, and the list goes on. There are other ways, tried and true ways that are often much more effective than all this online bullshit that we're spending hours on and obsessing over. Social media, however fun it might be sometimes, is not mandatory or even advisable in many cases. If you struggle with mental illness or depression or anxiety, please stay far away from TikTok. You don't need to go viral to build an audience. You don't need to make stupid 15-second videos just to get your art seen. You don't need to hustle for algorithms. Just because everyone else is doing something does not mean that you have to do it. Make your art. Get good at your art. Put your art out into the world. Talk about your art with as many people as possible, online and offline, in formats that you enjoy, in ways that you control, and that's it. Being a creative is hard enough as it is. Let's not complicate it any further. Those are my 2 cents. If you want more from me, if you're tired of algorithms, you don't like hanging out on TikTok or Instagram, I have a weekly newsletter that you might like. Every Friday, I write about my week and what I'm working on, what I'm thinking about, and some great things I've read and watched and listened to lately that might be of use to other creatives. It's free to join, and you can find the link in the description box below. As always, I appreciate you for watching or listening, and I hope we'll meet again in another video.